Hey, what is up guys? A while ago I did a video about how to armor through strings that have gaps in them, and a lot of you guys had questions, and I wanted to kind of follow up and cover that topic a little bit more. So, an example of one of these strings that you can do is Cassie's back 1, 2, 4. Looks like that, right? I'll have her blocked just so you can see. So there is actually a gap between that second and third hit. So there's a couple things you can do. I showed you guys that you can do an armor move to go out, and it's not just certain armor moves. You can do whatever armor move you want. So if your character has more than one armor move, you can do whatever armor move, you feel like. So, a lot of people ask me a bunch of questions. One of the ones I got a lot was, do you have to let go of block to do the armor move? And the answer is yeah. After the second hit, I'm letting go of block and then inputting my armor. Okay, so that's what I'm doing every time. So you do have to let go of block. The other thing that I got asked is, what happens, are there any other things you can do besides armor through this string? And the answer is yeah, you have a couple of options. You can use X-ray to go through it. That's the same kind of thing, right? You're just using the armor from your X-ray to go through it. Same kind of idea. The other thing is you can backdash, because backdashes in this game have invincibility, which means, you can go right through that gap in the string, and then a lot of times you can contest what they do, depending on the situation. And this works no matter where you are, right? Even if you're in the corner, you can still backdash it, because of the invincibility on it. So that's just something to keep in mind. Another thing you can do, or another question I got was, what happens if your opponent knows you're going to try to armor? So that's a good question. So if my opponent thinks I'm going to try to armor, they can bait it out, and then now my meter is wasted, right? So now that they're safe, but then I'll just poke out, right? So it turns into this weird little guessing game where you have to guess, will he armor through the string? Will he not armor through the string? What's the detail, or what's the situation going to be, right? So there's something. Also, if your opponent knows you're going to backdash, then this is a pretty good answer to deal with the backdash, right? So you have to think about that as well. So this is not a foolproof solution, right? This is just something that you can do to deal with some of the situations you get put in that happen all the time with these strings that have gaps in them. And a lot of things are like this, right? If your opponent's ever doing a cancel from down 1 or down 3 or down 4 or anything like that, then there's always a gap that you can, that's interruptible. So you can think about that as well. A lot of characters have strings or gaps they use on there. And yeah, this is not a foolproof option, right? There are ways that your opponent can adjust, and when your opponent adjusts, then you adjust. You know what I mean? It's one of those back and forth things. But I just want to cover this topic a little bit more because a lot of people asked about it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any other questions, let me know, and I'll see you guys again soon.